Hello, Motions Biz here, and I am back again to talk about, very basic things with Navy Federal, but I feel is very important because I get asked about these questions a lot. And you can tell that my videos are very basic. It's all the basic information about Navy Federal. And when I started, I based it on my experience as well. But I would like to talk about the Save First account and the easy certificates account. I did a video on this a while back and I noticed that the interest was significant. And that was a time when I was doing just basically slides for the video. And now that we know more about how Navy Federal works and how you can build your profile with Navy Federal, I would like to do a remake of that video and just provide more information. The Easy Certificates account and the Savefirst account are two great ways to actually improve your potential for Navy Federal's high limit credit cards. And that is a fact, and we have proven that. And it is also proven by our members who shared their experience that when they opened their account and they did those things, they were approved for high limit credit cards. If you are a member of Navy Federal and you just became a member of Navy Federal and does not really have a roadmap or an idea how to really finesse your relationship with Navy Federal, because I noticed that there are many folks out there that once they become a member of Navy Federal, they just stay put and not really do anything about that account. Now remember, being a Navy Federal member is a privilege, and if you know how to finesse it, if you know how to work it, you will reap the benefits of Navy Federal. But first, of course, you have to really do something. You cannot wait and do nothing and then expect to be given the opportunity of being approved for Navy Federal loan products or the high limit credit cards. It won't happen. But if you get started right away, time is on your side. Because if you do these things right when you become a member, you will see that your results will differ from that person who never did anything with their account. No, not enough savings, no other products used. Why is it so important and why does it make a big impact with Navy Federal? Remember, these two things are forced savings, okay? When I say forced savings, because it is for a term, there is a term for it, whether you want to do it in 6 months or 12 months or 24 months, okay? When it is forced savings, just like the direct deposit, that is money coming into Navy Federal that they can use. And because it is something that you don't use periodically, there is a maturity date, it is an advantage, and it also shows your discipline and your willingness to save. Now, as you are well aware of, lending institutions is that money is their game. The more money that is coming in from all its members, okay? And Navy Federal is over 10 million strong. Can you imagine how many people are able to make that money work for them and for its members? And that is the reason why Navy Federal is very generous to its members, because there are so many of us within the credit union that are putting in our funds with Navy Federal. So that is also the reason why we can avail of these products. And Navy Federal is really one of the best out there when it comes to rebuilding your credit, build credit. I really am a big believer of that. I've seen it too many times. Now, the Easy Certificates account and Savefirst account is designed for those young adults, students, because you can start a Savefirst account even if you are 13 years old. And remember, Navy Federal is making this possible for its members. It doesn't matter your level of financial capacity. These products are designed for every level. And of course, we have high rollers. That's what I would call it with Navy Federal. They are putting a lot of money into big certificates, in the millions, in the hundred thousands. But us little people can still benefit from doing this easy, simple things that Navy Federal offers that can still increase our chances. Okay, I call this the baby products because can you imagine you can start a Savefirst account with $5 and the Easy Certificates account for $50, and you just continue to contribute to that fund. Okay, now what I did with mine as an example was that right after I became a member of Navy Federal was that I was putting in $5, $10, $20, maybe every 2 weeks, every week, every a few days. When what I did was I just basically transferred amounts, from my checking or my savings directly to those two accounts because they are very easy to set up. You can set them up right on the Navy Federal app, and it has made a difference. Even with the people that I tried to help, credit building with Navy Federal. So, something to again consider when you are a new member of Navy Federal, you better do these things like right away. And just to share my personal experience with doing the Savefirst account and the Easy Certificates account, when I was approved for the 25,000 cash rewards credit card, when I was about, barely 3 months with Navy Federal, I tell you, the amounts on those two accounts that I had was barely 1,000. Okay, but I was showing activity. I was making deposits until it just kept growing, but it was not much. And even until now, to be honest, my the funds that I put on those two accounts are not over 1,000, just a little bit over 1,000. It's not really much, but it has made a difference. And in fact, I already finished one of them and it went back into my savings account, and I did another one and just put it back there. Okay. So that's how you can do that. And it does not have to be a lot. Just show that activity and willingness to save because it makes you look good with Navy Federal. That shows a lot of discipline that you can actually put money there and that you don't have to mess with and touch until the end of the term. And another proof that these two products do help your chances with Navy Federal when you go ahead and try to get the unsecured credit cards. Okay, you will notice that we have members who shared that when they received their denial letter from Navy Federal, guess what it said? Not enough usage of Navy Federal products. Okay, so that means you do not take advantage of Navy Federal products. And as I mentioned in one of my videos, those denial letters are your roadmap on how you can make your credit profile better so you have a better chance of boosting your credit profile, not just with Navy Federal, but also with your personal credit profile. If you are a new member of Navy Federal, try to use and utilize their products. And not only that, I also mentioned doing direct deposit. That's another thing that I discussed in one of my videos. It really improves your profile. If you are one of those members who cannot get approved for an unsecured credit card when you are starting with Navy Federal, do those things and you will notice that you will actually improve your chances. And if indeed you get a chance to get approved for the secured credit card, go for it because that secured credit card is actually a credit booster. Okay, not just with Navy Federal. We have members who shared that they get very discouraged because they were not approved for an unsecured credit card and all they qualified for was the secured credit card. Guess what? Think of it this way. Navy Federal, if you got approved for the secured credit card, that shows that they are giving you a chance. They are showing you that you have potential. Think of it that way instead of thinking that it's a secured credit card and it's not an unsecured credit card. Remember, that Navy Federal secured card is one of the best in the market. And I can really vouch for that. It does not have an annual fee. You have a potential of being able to double your credit limit, increase your credit limit without having to do an additional deposit. And you can graduate into the cash rewards credit card later and for a very generous amount. You don't see that a lot, okay? Now, Navy Federal is one of the best when it comes to the secured credit card, and it's an opportunity for you to be able to build that, because it's not easy to get a secured credit card somewhere who will stay in that amount for years and years with no chance of getting a credit limit increase and charging you for everything. So again, once you have that, all these very basic things with Navy Federal has a reason, and it's an opportunity. Think of it that way. So utilize it. It is there for you to use. And again, it is my pleasure to share that with you, also based on my personal experience. So if you are a new member of Navy Federal or have been a member of Navy Federal but has never really taken advantage of these two products, do it today and boosts your internal credit score. So again, it's my